pause the video. Before we begin, I just want to thank you so very much for the immense amount of support on my last video. It's absurd, 105 views. That's absolutely bonkers. I could not imagine getting that many views on my very first video. So before this next video began, I just wanted to come here and say thank you so very much for the insane support on the last video. Thank you, and with that said, let's get back to the video. Today, we're going to be talking about 3D printers, specifically how 3D printers can make houses. So, if you're not informed of what a 3D printer is, let me explain. A 3D printer is more specifically 3D printers. So what are 3D printers? And more specifically, what is 3D printing? Well, if you're not informed, 3D printing is a form of fabricating parts, trinkets, and various other things by laying down material layer by layer until it forms a fully 3D object. There are different ways of 3D printing, such as FDM and SLA, and there's also different materials that you can use, such as PTG, PLA, ABS, so on and so forth, even to the funny ones that I like, which is like a TPU, which is like flexible stuff. But that's besides the point, out of the scope of what I'm going to be talking about today, which is 3D printed houses, if you couldn't already tell. Well, how do 3D printers relate to houses? What's the correlation, you could say? Well, 3D printers can be used to make houses. There are specific 3D printers made for building houses. They work essentially the same as a 3D printer that I or you would have, except the very obvious details of that they're a lot larger and that they don't use plastics, they use concrete, obviously, because they're making a house and they're not making, a little boat or little. And also, people are needed to assist the printer while it's printing for any bumps that happen during the construction process, like going over windows, because you can't print over anything. You can't print over air. It has to be attached to something. But besides those minor details, they're essentially the same. Well, why is a 3D printer so important to houses? Well, 3D printers can actually make houses in a lot less time than traditionally made houses. For example, Icon, a company based in Austin, Texas. Hell yeah, go Texas. Actually was able to use their house making 3D printer called the Vulcan 2 and their own special concrete named Lavacrete to make houses in Mexico in under 24 hours. Which, when you compare that to how long it takes a traditional house to be made, which can take 7.7 months, it's easy to see the immediate time benefits you get with these 3D form of manufacturing. This could actually help a lot of places, like I said, Mexico, where they're actually building them, but also in California, where there's a current housing crisis, where rapid development of communities could prove very effective for solving this crisis. Another thing that 3D printers can actually do when it comes to houses is make it more affordable. Because during the actual manufacturing process, there are a lot less materials are actually used to make the house, such as rebar and other supports. It drastically reduces the price that the house will actually cost after it's built, reaching as low as $4,000. And yes, that will be for a very small house compared to the house you would see, in an everyday neighborhood. But the really important thing I want to, key into your mind is that it opens the gate to affordable housing to not just people who have some bit of money. It actually opens it to more people that don't actually have a whole lot of money. For example, there is a recent article that I found that a homeless man was able to actually get a house for the first time because of 3D printing and its affordability, which is monumental considering the percentage of people that are homeless. And if these homeless people can get affordable housing, that's not just some shelter that they're having problems keeping up with the influx of people coming in. So it's a pretty big deal for this stuff to actually come. Another thing is environmental reasons. These houses, because they use less materials, it requires less concrete. In addition to some of the concrete being used is actually made more environmentally friendly. It allows for the actual construction to be a lot more environmentally friendly than, concrete construction, brick and mortar kind of stuff. So, in closing comments, in closing, 3D printers are insane. the technology is such a useful thing to have in this kind of modern society that we live in. So what I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, and that's the video. That's the video. It's a very short video. I saw the article and I really wanted to make a video about it because I think it's really interesting and I'm really interested in 3D printing. If you want to see more 3D printing, comment down below what you would like to see. And if you enjoyed the video, go ahead, drop it a like. And if you really want to see more of the videos that I will be making in the future, don't forget to subscribe with some notifications on so you never miss a video. With all that said, I thank you so much for coming here. Bye.